Hello everyone, so welcome back again today on the White One Auto channel. And what we have here is a 2003 2500 Chevrolet pickup 6.0. And I know the owner personally on this one, and it left him stranded this morning. He went out to start it up and it would not start. And it's my truck, so I was a little disappointed. But hey, so we got it towed down and now we're gonna fix it. So as we can see, well, as you will see, this thing, it cranks over and dies right out. So what we're gonna start with is always, we're gonna do a quick check to see if it's a fuel problem or an ignition problem. And the way we're gonna tell that is we're gonna spray some brake parts cleaner through the throttle body and see will it start up and run, because that will let us know if it's a fuel issue or a spark issue, and then to know where we need to move from there. So let's. So let us see, will she start up? And so yes, she does start up and run. So that lets us know, we do have a fuel issue, but we need to figure out, is it just because the fuel pump isn't coming on, or is the fuel pump itself bad, or do we possibly even have an injector issue? So first thing we're gonna do is check fuel pressure. There should be a test port. There's a test port right here. So what I'm gonna do is reconnect this, because we don't need to have that off anymore, and then we'll hook up our fuel gauge. So you can see we got an 03 Silverado. Let's go in and command the fuel pump on. So we're gonna command our fuel pump on, and it is on. I heard the relay click, but I do not see any movement from our gauge there. So to just double check this, first we will cut this off. I'm going to remove our fuse box here, and we'll find our fuel pump relay. Our fuel pump relay is right here. So we're gonna pull that relay out, and then we will see if we put just a jumper relay in here, does the fuel pump command on? And I know everyone sees this relay, but this is my truck, and I had to use my relay one time to help a customer. So that's why it looks like that, and I just never replaced it. So we'll turn our fuel pump on, and we are not seeing anything, as well as I'm not hearing the sound of like the pump coming on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna raise the truck up on the hoist, and then we will check for power and ground at the pump to make sure that is good. So we are at our fuel pump. Now, I did not make these connections because I bought this truck used. So you see somebody's put a fuel pump in here before. So we have our relay tester in. So what we're gonna do is check for power and ground. And the way I'm gonna do that is I have a test light, and I have some wiring leads going to power and ground. So right now my test light is reading 12 volts because we got it hooked up to power on one side and the other side hooked up to ground. So our gray wire here is fuel pump power, our black is fuel pump ground. So let me hook the tester, the terminal in, and see, do we have power first? So I was pulling on the wire to make sure we had a good connection, and you see that's what happened. This is why you don't just do that, because you see how all that corrosion is in there? Now, so I'm gonna strip this back and see, do we have power here? Let me see if I can get it set up good. Okay, I'm gonna pause you. So this is why you need to make proper connections, not this junk down here. So remember, I already have my test light hooked to ground, running from a jumper, and it is showing power. So see, I'm getting 12 volts there, as I should. So what we're gonna do is redo all of these junk connections here, and then plug our fuel pump back in and see, does it run? It probably will run, but we have to fix what we know is bad. Let me pull on some more and see. So no more of them are pulling out, but it's just sad that people actually do this stuff, because you know, I had to tow the truck to the shop for this, when if it was fixed correctly the first time, it wouldn't be there. But we're not gonna cry over spilled milk. Just, hey, remember, people learn from someone else's mistakes, and it's not really that bad for me to fix. We can get it going. So we have fixed this one wire. We are going to fix them all, but we just want to make sure that's the only cause. So we're going to plug it back in. You hear our fuel pump whirling, and that's because, remember, we have a relay tester in there. So we're going to let it down, remove our relay tester, and crank it over. So here we are. Let's turn our fuel pump off. Let's pull that relay out. We'll put our regular relay back in, and showing we do have some fuel pressure. Maybe it was dropping down. So I can say I do know this truck does need to be rewired, because so she's running. That was our fix. A few bad connections. We will go underneath and finish making the correct connections, and then continue to drive old Mad Max. So we've made all our final connections. We're gonna tape this up, plug it back in, let it down, and hear Mad Max run. So we got this thing all wrapped up. Let's pull our locks and let it down. Okay, so she's down. Let's fire her up. So we are good to go. Mad Max is back fixed. You see our fuel gauge is working. And I'm glad, because that's a 33-gallon tank, and we got about a quarter of a tank. So I did not want to have to drop that tank. White one auto out.